Hello students. Welcome to chapter or lesson 5. My name is Samantha and I am from the United States. So, my accent is American. In this video, we will learn about A. Be plus going to indicate future time. For example, he is going to sing. B. Negative statements. For example, he isn't here. He didn't come. C. Negative statements with single-word adverbs of frequency. For example, he isn't always here. He doesn't always study. D. Some and any. Notice the use of be and going to when referring to future time. Previous patterns. For example, I read every day. I am reading now. New pattern. For example, singular. I am going to read tomorrow. You are going to read tomorrow. He is going to read tomorrow. Plural. We are going to read tomorrow. You are going to read tomorrow. They are going to read tomorrow. Exercise 1. Substitute the words and make the necessary changes. For example, I'm going to study tomorrow. He's going to study tomorrow. We're going to study tomorrow. I'm going to study tomorrow. Exercise 2. Answer no to the question and add a statement using the word tomorrow. For example, did George study yesterday? No, he's going to study tomorrow. Did Mary read the book? No, she's going to read the book tomorrow. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Exercise 3. Contrast the present progressive with the forms used with future time. Substitute the words and make the necessary changes. For example, I'm going to practice tomorrow. Now. I'm practicing now. Next week. I'm going to practice next week. We're going to practice next week. Tomorrow. We're going to practice tomorrow. Now. We're practicing now. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Please compare the word order of statements and questions. I give you examples. Are they going to study tomorrow? Yes, they are. Are we going to play baseball tomorrow? Yes, we are. Is John going to study engineering? Yes, he is. Is David going to be a dentist? Yes, he is. What is Tom going to study? Engineering. When is he going to visit us? Next year. Exercise 4. Listen to the statement and form a corresponding question. For example, they're going to study. Are they going to study? John's going to play baseball. Is he going to play baseball? The boys are going to be late. Are they going to be late? Exercise 5. Listen to the statement. Make a yes or no question with you. Another student will give a true short answer. For example, George is going to play baseball tomorrow. Student A. Are you going to play baseball tomorrow? Student B. Yes, I am. Or, no, I'm not. George is going to study tonight. Student B. Are you going to study tonight? Student C. Yes, I am. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Exercise 6. Listen to the statements. Form corresponding questions with what at the beginning and tomorrow at the end. A second student will answer. For example, he's studying grammar today. Student A. What is he going to study tomorrow? Student B. He's going to study vocabulary. He's drinking coffee today. Student B. What is he going to drink tomorrow? Student C. He's going to drink milk. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Exercise 7. Substitute the words and make the necessary changes. For example, I'm not in Detroit now. He isn't in Detroit now. Last week. He wasn't in Detroit last week. Next week. He isn't going to be in Detroit next week. Here. He isn't going to be here next week. Now. He isn't here now. They aren't here now. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Exercise 8. Substitute the words and make the necessary changes. For example, he doesn't study engineering. They don't study engineering. Last year. They didn't study engineering last year. I didn't study engineering last year. Don't. I don't study engineering. Exercise 9. Listen to the statement about Paul. Make a negative statement about George. For example, Paul is happy. George isn't happy. Paul has a car. George doesn't have a car. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Exercise 10. Listen to the statement about Paul. Make a negative statement about George. For example, Paul is always happy. George isn't always happy. Paul always studies at night. George doesn't always study at night. Exercise 11. The adverbs never, rarely, and seldom are negative. Do not use these words with other negative words, such as don't and isn't. Make negative statements in this exercise. Substitute the words and make the necessary changes. For example, he doesn't usually smoke. Often. He doesn't often smoke. Never. He never smokes. Rarely. He rarely smokes. Always. He doesn't always smoke. Seldom. He seldom smokes. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Exercise 12. Listen to the affirmative and negative statements. Respond with corresponding negative statements with the words, at night. Remember that statements with never, seldom, and rarely are negative. For example, he's usually here in the morning. He isn't usually here at night. He's always in class in the morning. He isn't always in class at night. They often study in the morning. They don't often study at night. He's never here in the morning. He's never here at night. He's seldom in class in the morning. He's seldom in class at night. I rarely study in the morning. I rarely study at night. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Exercise 13. Listen carefully to the teacher's statement and question. Answer the question using the same adverb of frequency that the teacher uses in the question. For example, John often wears blue shirts. Does he always wear blue shirts? No, he doesn't always wear blue shirts. Mrs. Miller seldom drinks tea. Does she usually drink tea? No, she doesn't usually drink tea. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Exercise 14. Listen to the affirmative statement about John. Make a negative statement about Paul. For example, John needs some pencils. Paul doesn't need any pencils. John is buying some books. Paul isn't buying any books. Exercise 15. Substitute the words and make the necessary changes. Use any in the questions. For example, I have some potatoes. I don't have any potatoes. Do you have any potatoes? Bread. Do you have any bread? He doesn't have any bread. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Some and any are also substitutes for noun phrases, like some stamps, any stamps, etc. For example, do you have any stamps? Yes, I do. Yes, I have some. No, I don't. No, I don't have any. Did Mary buy any fruit? Yes, she did. Yes, she bought some. No, she didn't. No, she didn't buy any. Exercise 16. Practice short answers with some and any. Answer the teacher's questions individually. For example, do you see any books? Yes, I see some. Do you know any engineers? No, I don't know any. Or, yes, I know some. Now, please do the following exercise. You can pause your video until you finish the exercise. Well done, students. You have finished chapter or lesson 5. I hope you enjoy it and keep practicing. See you again. Bye.